Hello, my name is Lillian Montgomery, and this is the Chapter 2 discussion. So I had question number 2, and it has about 2 parts to it. The first part wants you to explain the significance and structure of compact bone to then spongy bone. And then the second part wants you to describe the location and functional significance of yellow and red bone marrow. So first we'll start off with compact bone. The thing that you need to know is with compact bone, it has a very low porosity. So this porosity is about 5 to 10%, which means that it's super, super dense and hard. This type of bone you can see like in the outside layers of the bone, which is called the cortical shell. But what's super important to know about this type of bone is its structural unit. The structural unit are called osteons, and they're kind of like very compact, ring-like layered structures. I'll show you like what they look like in a second, and then in the middle of those rings they have blood vessels. Then moving on to spongy bone, they are the complete opposite. So they have a high porosity, and that number is 75% to 95% instead of 5 to 10. So they're porous looking. They kind of have like a honeycomb look to them. Again, not super compact, and they're, again, not as hard. So, and then they're found beneath that cortical shell, so more in the inside of those bones. So it's kind of hard to see on here. But the picture, this is like a little chunk of the bone. So you see here, this outside part is the compact bone, very tight knit, and you can see kind of like what the rings look like. Again, it's kind of hard on this video, but the blood vessels run in the center of those type of rings, whereas over here is the spongy bone. It's a lot more not as compact, and then you see the honeycomb like structure, and then the blood vessels just run kind of more freely. So that's the first part of the question 2. Then for the second part, it wants you to describe the location and functional significance of yellow bone marrow and red bone marrow. So starting off with the yellow bone marrow, the location is usually in the cavities or shafts of those long bones. And again, I will show a picture at the end, so it kind of makes more sense. But yellow bone marrow, actually, its functional significance is that it provides a really good source of energy. Then moving on to red bone marrow, the location, they're more so, the red bone marrow is more so proximal in those type of bones, such as like the femur, humerus, some vertebrae, etc. And then the significance is that they actually have a really important job. They produce white and red blood cells and even platelets. So then, again, these pictures are kind of hard to see. If this is a bone, this is kind of the location of where the red bone marrow would be, and then this part of the bone is where the yellow bone marrow would be. So again, they definitely have different functions, like functional significance, but their locations are also different, but they are like close in location. But yeah, though this was the chapter 2 discussion of question number 2.